So, hey, hello.
Hi.
Hi. We're doing an interview today about your game. And your game is about your son Max. Did you try to simulate what his life looks like in a playable way?
Yes, that's exactly what I did. Um, I wanted to use the video game format to present a day in the life of Max. Maybe to try to present what it is to have his kind of autism spectrum disorder. I never wanted to make a game that would explain autism because, in my opinion, I think that's completely impossible. There's just too many facets to autism. What I really wanted to do was to create a game that would maybe help people better understand the type of autism that Max has.
Okay, but in the game he has a brother. Is that brother real as well?
Yes, all of the characters are based on real people. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I did recognize your face comparing to the dad in the game,
Yeah.
but yeah, I didn't know about the brother.
Absolutely. All of the characters are based on real life, and most of the conversations as well. So they.
Okay.
Oh yeah, they do tease each other.
So that about the mustache was it really happened.
Well, let's say that it's a caricature of real life.
Okay. Is Max an Autistic Journey the first game you made?
Yes, it's my first game. I discovered. I always wanted to create a game, and I discovered software that was easy enough for me to create the game without having to become a coder or a programmer. I'm not a developer. I'm not a coder at all. I'm just a dad. I'm a history teacher. So I just wanted to create something, and I discovered RPG Maker. Actually, that's the software that I used, and it enabled me to put my ideas up on the screen. So yes, it is my first game ever.
Wow, how does a history teacher come up with the idea to make a game?
Yeah, that's a good question, definitely. I've always loved video games, and Max is totally the same, right? And at some point, I was playing a game called To the Moon by Ken Gao, which is an absolute wonderful game. And Max came up to me and he was watching me play, and he said, I'd love to make a game. So I said, okay, what would your game be about? And of course he went, you know, straight to Godzilla and dinosaurs and all that good stuff that he really loved. And like, that gave me the idea. That was like a lightning strike in my head. It's just, oh my god, I don't think there's ever been a game about a child with autism. It doesn't exist.
No, I also don't think I've ever seen a game about autism before.
Nope.
I know the ideas are out there, and I know people try to do stuff that's, like it, but not like this.
I agree. I don't think there is there's a lot of educational software, but not an actual video game, I don't think.
Yeah, I agree. I also don't think that's there.
So that's how it started, with that little idea that popped into my head. Like I said, I really wanted to make the game, but I don't have time to learn like JavaScript or something like that, C++.
Well, with Unity it's only C/, and that isn't too hard, but it would still take a lot of time.
Yes.
And you do have to design everything yourself. And in RPG Maker, I do have RPG Maker, so I know a little bit about it. Then you get like you can like switch things on a thing that's already there.
Yes, exactly. You can
Yeah.
use somebody else's template basically, but just switch some of the graphics. And I created a lot of the graphics used in the game, but in order to put them in the right place, I definitely had a lot of help from people, absolutely wonderful people on the community. That's for sure.
Okay. So Max, an Autistic Journey is on Udemy. What do you think of Udemy?
I love the fact that all of the games are there for you to play with just a monthly fee. I think game streaming, just like movie streaming sites, is basically the way of the future. You have access to all of these great games for a flat fee every month. So if you don't like it, it's okay. It's not a problem. You can try them out, and it's always a flat fee per month. I thought, that's a wonderful idea. In my opinion, it's the way of the future.
It is. Then if you think, oh, this game is crap, okay, let's remove it again and play something else.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it doesn't cost you a dime more.
Nope. So, did you develop Max and Autistic Journey only for PC?
To begin with, yes. I developed it for PC, for all of the PC platforms to begin with. I do want to put it on mobile. It's not easy, and I am trying really hard to get the game onto Android and iOS.
Oh, that would be nice.
I think so, yes. It's a lot of work, though. I didn't realize it was that much work.
So, how do you like each platform? Like the consoles, the PC, mobile?
It's I've been a PC gamer for a long, long time. I've had, with the kids as well. We have all the consoles here, and most of the kids in the house love them video games. I don't know where they take it. Maybe it's me. We are a video game family. Mobile gaming, it's pretty new to me, I have to admit. So I'm more, the fact that I play PC games a lot, with the modding community as well. I love to mod games, that's for sure. And it's my favorite platform. But I'm really discovering everything that's mobile now, and it's interesting. It's very interesting.
Okay. So what type of education have you done?
I'm by training, I'm a history teacher, like I said.
Yeah. So you probably learned to be a teacher.
Yes, exactly. I'm not teaching history right now. I have a bachelor's in education in English and in history, but 10 years ago I started my own company, and I do management training in different companies. I work a lot with banks and insurance brokers, and I go around all of Canada, and I give training sessions, help them manage pretty much all of their workflow. That's my real job,
A real job.
Yeah, that's my real job. And anytime I get any free time, if that ever happens, I really, really love indie development. I read about it, I look at all the wonderful artists out there who are creating absolute visions of imagination gone wild, and I really, really love that. It's a wonderful world to discover, definitely.
So you said before that Max helped you with the idea to make this game. How does he think of the game now?
That's a really good question. I could say, oh, he loves the game, and that'd be it. But it's not enough, right? Max, of course, he played the game more than once, and he laughs a lot. He definitely recognizes, the different family situations and situations in school. But the one thing that really, really surprised me is one day he came home from school and he said, "Today I was gonna get really angry, but then I remembered Max in the game and I said, no, I have to breathe." And he said, "I went 3 times and then I was okay." So yeah, I did just like the Max in the game.
So he's learning from it as well.
Absolutely. And that I had to pick up my jaw from the floor, right? I was absolutely amazed and surprised. He uses the game as a tool to help him deal with everyday situations. That made me so happy.
Yeah, it would be nice if he could be as normal as possible adult when he gets older.
It is difficult for, there's an expression in autism spectrum disorders, which is the invisible spectrum. The invisible spectrum is when adults who have autism are still very, very functional, so that it doesn't really show that they have autism, but there are still some signs. And people who see them, sometimes they have a hard time understanding why they're reacting this way, why they're acting or reacting this way. So that's why it's called the invisible spectrum. It's very hard for someone who's on the spectrum, but who doesn't have like a really big disability, to manage social interaction. So if the game can help Max better manage those difficult social interactions, then that's all the best.
Yeah, it makes his life easier.
Absolutely.
So how many people worked on Max and Autistic Journey?
I did all the work. Well, almost. No, actually, Max helped me, of course. I used him as a sample. What do you think of this one? And I worked with a wonderful friend, an artist whose name is Lisanne Martin, who did all of the busts, the drawings for all the characters. She's absolutely wonderful. And there's John Kaiser III, who's my publisher as well, who did a lot of fine-tuning and beta testing. So yeah, I think the four of us created what you see now up on the screen.
Okay. Well, this works, so...
Yeah.
So what was the biggest challenge in producing the Max and Autistic Journey?
The learning curve was something. I didn't want to create a generic, boring, kind of game. I wanted to spice things up. So I had to learn in my free time how to make things different from the generic. And I think maybe a lot of times my ideas were a little too big. So I wasted a lot of time trying to learn things that I just could not make them work the game, right? So finding the time to make the game exactly as I envisioned it was quite the challenge. I had to, I had some sleepless nights, I have to admit.
Sleepless nights are never good.
Yeah, well, it depends on the feeling you get the next morning, but yeah, don't do that.
So you used RPG Maker, but there are a lot of them. Which one did you use? And why did you choose that one?
Good question. I started with RPG Maker Ace, the VX Ace. The first version of the game was all made with VX Ace in French, and Then they came out. They came up with RPG Maker MV, the latest version. I
Mhm.
think it was October 2015. So the game was pretty much done, like completed. That's it in VX Ace, and they came out with the new software. So I had to decide. Okay, so what do I do now? Do I convert everything into MV, or do I leave it as it is? And I spent a lot of weeks actually. It took at least 2 weeks for me to just make a decision. And I finally decided not only to convert everything to MV, but to translate everything to English as well.
Yeah, English is a lot better than French, because if it was French, I wouldn't be able to play it because I don't speak French.
Exactly. At first I never knew that it was gonna be this big, right? So I thought, well, I'll do it in French first for my friends and family and all those good people. But then, when I saw the amount of work that I put in there, I decided to, if I'm gonna market it, I'm gonna have to make it in English first.
Yeah, so people can actually see what you're made.
Yes, exactly.
Did you get any help from the industry to develop Max and Autistic Journey?
I did a lot, actually. The community, the RPG Maker community is absolutely wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Like, big time. Anytime that I hit a wall, anytime that there was something I didn't understand, I could go into the forums, I could ask questions. Everybody was always so very nice, very patient too. All of the free resources as well, all of the scripts that helped Max become, exactly what it is now. The community was wonderful from A to Z. I have absolutely nothing bad to say. You guys rocked, big time.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm very, very, very grateful.
So you have it like on Steam or something?
Yeah, it's on Steam. We went through Steam Greenlight. One thing,
No, I meant the RPG Maker. Where did you find the forums? I know that some indie developers watch my videos and follow me on Twitter, so that's why I ask.
oh, it's there's the Steam community, and there's also the RPG Maker web.net, if memory serves. I have it on shortcut, so yeah, RPG Maker web.net.
Okay, well that could help the people in my community that actually make games.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
there's a lot of help out there, and everybody's, like I said, everybody was so nice. The one thing that happened that really rocked my world, like big time, was when John Kaiser uh, from GPAC Games sent me an email, and he said, I found your game, I played it, and I want to publish it. And we started chatting, and I gave him like all of the files, and I couldn't believe that I actually had somebody who was so dedicated to the game as to work on it pretty much as I did and publish it and publicize it. So my buddy John Kaiser from GPAC Games I should say, oh my god, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, when I emailed for an interview, the same day I got a message from GPAC, like, do you want to interview us? And he didn't know at that moment. I already emailed him like 10 minutes before he sent that. It was a really nice coincidence.
Absolutely. He's so good. I mean, John, I'm very freaking grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Did you notice the decline for making money for indie games in the industry?
I'm pretty new to the whole industry, so the one thing that I did read, and I do read more and more about it too, is there's a lot of games that maybe and what I'm trying to say is there's a flood basically. There's a huge flood of games that makes it hard sometimes to stand out of the crowd.
Yeah, mostly on Thursday. Sometimes 30 games get released in one day. I know.
There you go. So it's hard, definitely, to make your place in that industry. It's not gonna happen, I think, without effort and imagination and a lot of intelligence. If you think that it's just gonna happen without you lifting a finger, I don't think so. It's not. It doesn't work that way. You have to really, really commit to it.
Okay, so what type of games do you play in your free time?
Free time? What's that?
That's some time you have if you're not working.
Oh, okay.
And not sleeping.
Well, I do love storytelling a lot, so I'm gonna be a big fan of like I just finished The Witcher 3. That was an amazing game too. I love RPGs. I love big, epic stories. I went through all the Final Fantasies from the first SNES up to today. So a lot of times, if I do get some free time, I'm gonna go and play an RPG. Like that's the first thing that I go towards.
Oh, that's really nice. How long did it take to create the Max, the Autistic Journey?
Overall, it took about 15 months from start to finish. It's about 15 months to create the final PC product.
Okay. Will there be like a second game, or will you make other kind of games?
I would love to, definitely. I do want to create a DLC for Max. Fingers crossed. I hope we can get it ready for Christmas this year. It's something, just a tiny little adventure. And yes, I do want to create a second game that doesn't have anything to do with Max, but I'm still gonna take all the experience that I got developing the first one and put it into the second, of course.
Will there be like, in the future, will there be like a game for when Max hit puberty and how puberty is for him?
That's a really, really good question. It's something that I've been thinking about. I don't know if at this point I can't say yes or no, but it'd be really, really interesting. That's another subject that has never been developed in video game format.
Yeah, because when he hits puberty, he has to be like, he can't hide behind a dinosaur anymore.
No, exactly. Exactly.
I mean, if he is like 15 and he still uses his dinosaurs all the time, it would be really weird.
Well, you know what?
So puberty is really different for him, and it would be like really nice to have a game about the puberty of a child like that.
It can. Oh, I completely understand what you're saying. It can be weird, but sometimes, you know what? Weird is fun. And if he's happy, and it's weird, but he's happy, and he's dealing with his own growth, basically at his own pace, and everything is going well, then, why not?
Yeah, he will just grow up and be a big Max.
And why not? If he's happy, and everybody around him accepts how he is, and he's not hurting anybody, of course, everybody is just doing fine, then I think weird is good. Why not?
Yeah, well, normal is also just like, yes, it's so normal.
People are always going to find something to talk about, that's for sure. I think it's human nature. But in the end, if we're all the same, if nobody has anything weird to say about themselves or any little, you know, special thing that makes them unique, like Max does, like I do, like we do, well, then we'd all be robots. I don't want to be a robot. I don't want Max to be a robot. So we're
No one wants to be a robot, I hope. Well, yeah, I'm out of questions. Do you want to tell anything else?
Well, I really want to thank you for this opportunity. Thank you very much for contacting me. And if anybody out there who plays the game wants to review it and leave a positive review on any of the platforms that you use to play the game, please leave a positive review. We need all the love we can get. There's a lot of judgment out there, of course, and autism is something really easy to ridicule. So if you did enjoy the game, please leave a positive review. It's something that we will be very, very grateful for. Thank you very much.